Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So, between episodes I've done some minor changes. I've added the displays up here. I've cleaned up the decoding a little bit and extracted those combinators that are responsible for settings, so stuff that you personally change. For example, what item is this Trainyard handling? And as well over here, so you have the ability to turn the dispatch of trains on or off. And I've added displays. So the rightmost display is simply how many slots you have. This displays how many full trains are currently docked in here, and this display tells you how many empty trains are currently docked in here. You'll notice that so I'm currently running at 64 speed times 64, and you'll notice that there's no real traffic jam up here. Sometimes going into a station, sure, that comes and goes depending on which of the station is more active. Currently it's kind of balanced, but it goes a little bit back and forth here. Which of the two stations has basically trains waiting up to here. You'll notice that the traffic jam leading into the train yard is gone, and that's because I've replaced the chain rail signals over here with normal rail signals, and that's possible because over here we have the path penalty system that takes care of trains wanting to go into stations that are theoretically free, but taken up by trains, so we don't really see it here at the moment. What the hell? Okay, I've got to take care of that in a second. So you see it here, there's trains that wanting to leave but can't, and I used to have an issue with new trains wanting to go into these stations because they count as free since there's no train docked anymore, but they can't go in because the previous train is still present. And the path penalty system over here, so path penalty simply said one rail signal checks whether or not there's a train present. It's this one, and if there is, it uses that circuit condition, reads the red signal, and if red is not zero, the other signal closes. And when you close a rail signal through circuitry, you add a path penalty to the rail piece it is attached to of 1000 tiles. So when this is red, this outer lamp is red, any train thinks that in reality this station is 1000 tiles further away than it really is. 1000 tiles is actually pretty long, so any train is basically guaranteed to actually choose another slot, right? If that shouldn't be enough for some reason ever, then you can just extend it like this, right? Here. Copy paste. And now you'd have a 2000 tile penalty. Right? And if that's still not enough, then you'd have to extend down this length of rail. That's also no problem, easily possible. But I'll leave it as it is. It should suffice for almost everybody ever. Okay. Right, apparently we don't have bots. We can easily rectify that. Wow, my bots. So this way we should not be running into any empty trains at all. They should all be properly refueling. So what's the next step? I need to create fluid stations. So these are all obviously serving items. I need to replace, I need to add stations to fluids now. And after that, there's going to be a large-scale test with multiple different items being served in the same rail network, and I might want to change the system where, for example, trains can only come in over here, it can only leave to the right. So right now I can basically enter the rail yard, train yard from both directions, right? And I can also leave it in both directions. The problem with that system is that trains, if there's a lot of traffic, trains will actually get in the way of each other. And it's not going to be a deadlock of any sort, so trains will never completely stop unless somewhere else there is like no more space for trains to go, something like that. But generally speaking, this station is safe, this crossing is safe against deadlocks, but it's still slower than if trains can only enter from one direction, can only leave the other direction. So that might be something I'm looking at. The idea with this system is really that you'd basically not have a crossing up here. It would basically be placed exactly like this, right? That's actually what I want you to do with this train yard system. But I have to test in maybe not the most ideal circumstances. All right, let's get to it. So it's loading, unloading. Let's actually return to normal time. And where are my fluids? Here. Hey, excuse me. So fluids are always much simpler, but also more complex in a way. So this is loading. We have loading here. We're down here. And unloading. I shouldn't actually need this, but I'm gonna have it anyway. And before I even continue, I need this thing essentially over here. Okay. I think those are precisely the same. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so what do we need to do? Obviously, first we need to get rid of this stuff entirely. Oh, and I wanted to move these guys probably down here. Right. So are they connected to just to this guy? All right. Um, yeah, I previously considered going through these power poles over here, but that's just not an option. And I'm also considering to just remove these guys because they're not needed at all, but then again, there's no specific reason that I have to, really. Um, yeah. Should I actually use this instead? I think I could. Quite successfully, in fact. Let's do that. Uh, no. Okay. Where's the... Ah, right, I don't need two anymore. And I should have noticed that way earlier, because now I can turn these to somewhat prettier picture. Yep. Or was it actually better as it was? This actually looks kind of cleaner, I think. Does it? I can't quite decide. There. Yeah, let's just load the latest autosave. Load game 39203. Why are these connecting? They should not be connecting. That's fine. So get rid of the extraneous stuff. Further, we actually don't need any of this. All we need is one constant combinator essentially that gives us the stack size of your typical tank, which is 25,000. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to copy the entire bit up there. Should have done that earlier. Where are we? Here. This is unloading. This. Don't need that. And that was unloading. Now let's do loading. Loading. Don't need this. Okay. Stack size. Calc. I want to make sure that's not confusing whatsoever. What comes out of this? Okay, so first I'll simply add this into the mix up here. I switch that out with the right icon. Say 25,000. Over here too. 5,000. We have 6. How is this calculated? I forget. Uh, 24. Actually, this is not the right one. Didn't I improve on that? I think I deleted or no. That's it's actually correct. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is fine. This was the latest version. I thought I did something else, but that was before that. Okay. Now I wish I hadn't deleted the stations that I'd prepared. Oh well. You make mistakes and you learn. Just get rid of that over there real quick. So, I don't really need all of this at all anymore. I plus 25,000. Load. Yeah, that's correct. Load, yeah. So in the other stations, the chests are connected to this guy. It's a bit dirty, but this. Oh yeah. These guys don't need to be connected. One of the guys out here need to be connected actually. And that should be. I guess I'll leave it like this. Fluids always look a little bit strange. So this is unload. It can serve 6 trains. It says 5. Why does it say 5? Should be 6. 24. 24. Here, 25k, yeah. 25k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of the tanks should be connected. Yes, they are. One. Where does the 1 come from again? K times N. K is the 24 times 25,000. Just one too many. Yeah. 1 minus. Wait. Gotta make sure that I actually have the. Of course, this is not correct. Sure. Right. What's the calculation like over here? This will be a bit easier to see. B are the number of items. Okay. B, where are we? Here. I 25,000. Always 1 0 too many. No idea why. Which one's the items? Should be the grain here. No. Yeah, confused. Yeah, it's this line. That's correct. Okay. So this line should be right in here. Passing through. Yeah, it's just this one. Okay, so I basically need I minus whatever's on here. And, crap. Where are these getting the item from? Heh? Oh, this is just output for informational request. Yeah. This is the data in. The red here. This is the item. Okay, now I've got it. Now I've got it. Here. The red in here. This is purely so green. You can't use green because green not only has the items from the chest over here, but also the single item that's then added on once you remember. I have a memory here that says what the last item that you used the station for was, right? So that puts out a value too, a value of 1, and that gets added to the green wire here, right? It's no problem down here because I'm reverting everything to 1 anyway. But I can't use it to calculate stacks because this would falsify my signal, so to say. So I need to use the red actually, which is on this wire. The red wire here is the items pure. $25. So how does this need to look? Oh, let me close the window. Each plus 0. Now it should say correctly we can serve 10 trains. Indeed it does. And because we are unloading, we need what's left over and free space. Yes, that is what we're getting here. Okay. So why is it enough to simply pump in the number of items basically that the inventory directly asks? Why don't I need to convert anything except for putting it in a virtual signal? The reason is very simple. It's just simply because fluids have units of 1 rather than stack size, right? So if I have, let's say 600, I don't know, do we use liter here, which is units, 600 units of water or whatever, then that's just straight up 600 stacks, you could say, right? It has a stack size of 1 all the time, whereas other items might have different stack sizes of 1, 10, 15, 50, 50 or 5, whereas fluids always have a stack size of 1. So there's nothing gonna change there. And what did I do with the red wire again? Oh, the red wire does nothing. Yeah, okay. That's just connect. Well, it does do something, but it's only for the pumps down here important, not for. Although I'm thinking they need to be connected across, or no, they don't need to be. And they don't need to be because this pump, for example, has nothing to do with these or these. They just happen to connect to the same train, but that's it. The same wagon, but that's it. And it's the same reason that I don't need to connect this inserter to the other chests, but instead only to its own chest, right? Same reasoning. And I think those two are the only connections, right? Inventory and the pumps, indeed. Here, that's needed. Okay, there you go. Theoretically, that should function now. Let's give it a quick. Now this is the unload, so to say. All right. And I'm just going to copy that over essentially. Except put this one down first. And instead of measuring how do I do this over here again? We don't actually need to. Oh. I inverted those, so this is where I need to look. I plus 0 is, yeah. And indeed we can serve none, because we have nothing in here. So if I want to test that, I need to actually use where are we? Here. So go away with that. Load. Load. Let's make sure we fix the correct icons. And let's see. Pumps are all connected. Those are all connected. So all we need to do now is add this over here. And I think this is the problem where I need to check this earlier. There's somewhere where I needed to divide by 2 to get these pumps to all work properly as they should. But let's leave that for... Oh no, I can actually do that now. I'm gonna need the same correction over on the other side as well. But I always forget why I needed it. So I need to work my way into this again. And in this case, I first need to check whether my wiring is actually okay, because might have gotten messed up. Divided by K. K says 24. These guys check for E. What's E again? A is the average. E is everything. I think that was the... So the average is 32. We actually might want to make them. No, that should actually be correct. Unloading should be anything. Where? Ah, of course it's up there. Yeah. Unloading should be anything greater equal E. A. I'm using A here. Oh, I just need to fix my A. Okay. And over here. A. Just make sure it's all. Okay. These all have nothing. Yep. And I think that was the problem. So 48 says this says the average is 48. And B divided by 24 could be 48. Seems about correct, actually. 1000 divided by 20 is about 50. So 48 seems correct. But why was that a problem again? And is it a problem if I just simply do this? That could work, I think. I think I just solved the old mystery. Yeah. I think I'd figured out why it works like that, but I've forgotten what exactly it was. So the problem was basically because I'm using two lines of tanks here, for it all to work out properly in the circuitry, I need to divide by 2. I would need to divide by 3 if I used 3 lines, right? The A over here, I mean, I would need to divide that by as many lines of tanks as I have per side. So two per side, so I divide by 2. If I had 3 per side, I have to divide by 3. Or I can just simply only look at the last tank over here with the red wire for these guys. They go and they compare whatever's in the tank to the average. and if they have less or equal the average, then they will start working, right? And I don't honestly remember why I need to divide, or I don't need to divide the average. Could that also work if I just divide the average by 2, or do I need to divide k by 2? I used to simply go and divide k by 2 and then divide the inventory by half of k, right? That would be my average. But this is basically a more obvious solution. The question that I still haven't solved, or I used to know why, but I've forgotten why, is why the system fucks up if it can see all, because I'm giving it the information that there are 24 tanks, each with 25,000 slots, right? 25,000 units for 25,000 units of liquid. So if it knows that all the tanks are present and it needs to divide the inventory by all of them, that should be fine intuitively. So why isn't it? It's fine over here. It works. Oops, it works fine over here. So why doesn't it over here, right? I still haven't figured that out. I've not really thought about it either. Well, so it should actually be set up here. So all I need is another train yard and the right trains, but I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Thank you for watching.